Enzo Maresca. Liverpool may not fully recover from Diogo Jota's death. Chelsea head coach Enzo Maresca doubts whether Liverpool's players will ever fully recover from the loss of Diogo Jota. The death of Jota at the age of 28 in July following a road accident was a painful reminder for Maresca of when his Sevilla teammate Antonio Puerta died suddenly of a cardiac arrest 18 years ago. Puerta, a wingback who had won one cap for Spain, collapsed during a La Liga game against Getafe in August 2007 and died 3 days later in hospital. Maresca had also been on the pitch at the time. 3 months earlier the pair had played together as Sevilla retained the UEFA Cup, defeating Espanyol on penalties in the final. Puerta hit the winning kick in the shootout, a year after lifting the trophy for the first time by beating Middlesbrough. A year ago, Maresca spoke of the pain of returning to the Olympic Stadium in Athens for Chelsea's Conference League game against Panathinaikos, the same ground where Sevilla had played a postponed Champions League qualifier a week after the death of his teammate. The game against AEK Athens had originally been scheduled for the day that Puerta died. As such, the Italian is all too aware of what Saturday's opponents Liverpool are going through. "It's difficult," he said. "It's also difficult to explain because there is no solution. You have just to deal with it. You cannot be better again." Maresca, who was a senior member of the Sevilla team in 2007, has stayed in contact with Puerta's parents ever since. "You arrive at the training ground. You can imagine the changing room is more or less like this room. You arrive and you see that place empty where every day there was your teammate. It's very sad," he said. "After 20 years, it's the only thing I can say." A visibly emotional Maresca then asked that there be no more questions on the subject. Liverpool force Real Madrid to step up Ibrahima Konate chase with new £53 million plan. It's no secret that Ibrahima Konate has been one of Liverpool's worst players this season. The Frenchman has been the cause of a lot of goals that the Reds have conceded, with Virgil van Dijk having to cover for his partner an awful lot more often than he usually would. It's unclear why Konate has been so off the pace this term, but one consistent thing has been the questions about his future. Although his future shouldn't affect the way that he plays, it's clear that the lack of decisions being made is weighing heavily on his head. Now, however, it feels like Liverpool may have forced Real Madrid's hand into making an offer for the centre-back. Liverpool are seriously interested in Gleisen Bremer with the £53 million price tag too much for Real Madrid. Gleisen Bremer has been linked with a Liverpool move for some time now. The Brazilian currently plays for Juventus and, although he's 28 years old, that hasn't stopped several clubs from showing an interest in him over the last few months. That is, according to Spanish outlet Defensa Central, who share that a few English teams would be willing to spend £53 million to acquire his services in the future. However, this sort of money would deter Los Blancos from making a move. The report shares that Liverpool, Chelsea, Manchester City, Arsenal, and Manchester United are all seriously evaluating making a move for the centre-back, with Real Madrid now dropping out of the race. This means that all of Real's attention will be on Konate and Dayot Upamecano, which is why the Reds may have forced Xabi Alonso's hand in his pursuit of the Anfield defender. Liverpool getting rid of Ibrahima Konate feels like the best thing to do at the moment. Although most fans wouldn't want to lose another one of their players to the La Liga outfit, with the way that Konate has been playing this term, it feels like they'd be doing Liverpool a favor. As mentioned, the Frenchman has been one of the Reds' worst players this season and, at the moment, it doesn't feel likely that things are going to get any better. That is, especially since there's no competition for his place in Arne Slot's starting 11 aside from Joe Gomez. Indeed, Liverpool are still sitting at the top of the Premier League table, but, with the way things have gone over the last week or so, it's unclear whether it'll end up staying like that. At the moment, it's anyone's guess what could happen in the next couple of transfer windows, but if things continue in this downward spiral, some changes will certainly have to be made. Liverpool draw up Michael Ollis transfer plan after failed Chelsea move. A new update on Liverpool transfer target Michael Ollis has emerged after Chelsea failed to sign him last summer, with Arne Slot's team still being linked to the Bayern Munich star. Michael Ollis of Bayern Munich. Liverpool are reportedly willing to spend big on Michael Ollis next summer. The former Chelsea academy player left Crystal Palace for £50.7 million to join Bayern Munich last summer after seeing a return to Stamford Bridge collapse. The West Londoners had verbally agreed personal terms with the player and were prepared to meet his £35 million release clause. But they wouldn't have been in that position if the club hadn't parted ways with him at the age of 14. In Germany, Ollis has gone on to score 25 goals and provide 29 assists in just 64 appearances to date. Several clubs have monitored his development in Germany, with Bild reporting that Liverpool could look to secure a move for him next summer and are drawing up a plan to sign the winger. Alice is described as the perfect fit to succeed Mohamed Salah at Anfield. Chelsea, meanwhile, are said to be open to a move, with Enzo Maresca's side always on the lookout for fresh talent. However, Bayern are reportedly preparing a new deal for the France international. Alice is currently under contract at the Allianz Arena until the summer of 2029 and reportedly does not have a release clause. Although he is not thought to be among Bayern's highest earners, the club can afford to offer Alice a lucrative contract. The report adds that Bayern plan to secure his long-term future with a contract extension until 2031, coupled with a significant salary increase. Manager Vincent Kompany has already made it clear that he hopes to rely on the winger for many years to come. We generally don't talk about contract details. Our aim is that Michael will stay at FC Bayern for a long time, he said in the summer. He's an exceptional talent. I see total calmness in Michael. He comes up to us because he wants to get even better. He's now won things for the first time, but he has to keep going. I hope he can make further progress and that the Bayern fans will get joy from him for a long time. Arne Slot delivers Alexander Isak reality check ahead of Liverpool versus Chelsea. Alexander Isak has been handled carefully since his blockbuster transfer to Liverpool, and Arne Slot has explained why it will still be some time before fans see the best of him. Arne Slot says it will take time for Alexander Isak and his new Liverpool teammates to get on the same wavelength. Arne Slot insists that it will take time for Alexander Isak to adjust to his new Liverpool teammates as the Reds' record £125 million summer signing continues to find his feet at Anfield. Isak was a second-half substitute in the 1-0 loss to Galatasaray on Tuesday night, but could be set for a starting role against Chelsea on Saturday depending on Hugo Ekitike's fitness, with the Frenchman having to be withdrawn through injury in Istanbul. The Sweden international has been carefully managed since moving from Newcastle, where he was training alone during pre-season. And while much has been made over Isak's fitness, Slot has warned everybody that the striker will have to build up an understanding with his teammates and vice versa once he's fully fit and firing, and that means it could be some time before Liverpool fans see him at his very best. I said to him, the difficult thing is you will have your appearances, but if you add minutes together it probably won't be more than 90 minutes, Slot said in his press conference on Friday. That's what we inherited from his situation at Newcastle. We knew this before, so it's not an excuse. The main thing is he has to adjust to his teammates and they have to adjust to him. He had a great counter moment against Palace, but the midfield didn't see it. These are the things that they have to work on, but that's been harder than last season because of Alexander, Alexis Mac Allister, Connor Bradley, and playing Dominic Szoboszlai. Top 10 highest paid Liverpool players. Liverpool's wage bill is packed with global stars and rising talents, reflecting the club's ambition under Fenway Sports Group in the last several years. Along the way to winning the Premier League, FSG negotiated new deals for Mohamed Salah and Virgil van Dijk, which drastically increased the club's wage bill. Of course, Liverpool bid farewell to Trent Alexander-Arnold after the Scouser opted to move to Real Madrid for free, so his massive wages were removed from the club's expenses. That said, signing Florian Wirtz, Hugo Ekitike, and, of course, Alexander Isak added even more to the weekly expenditure. From Salah's record-breaking deal to big-money contracts for new arrivals, here are the top 10 highest-paid players at Anfield in 2025-26. 10. Ryan Gravenberch, £7,800,000 per year. Dutch midfielder Ryan Gravenberch earns £150,000 per week. At just 23 years old, his contract was signed in 2023 and runs until 2028, putting him on the same financial tier as Mac Allister and Chiesa. Gravenberch's athleticism and technical ability make him a central piece in Liverpool's long-term midfield evolution, with a contract worth £23 million in gross terms. 9. Federico Chiesa, £7,800,000 per year. Italy international Federico Chiesa matches Gravenberch and Alexis Mac Allister's salary with £150,000 per week. Signed in 2024, Chiesa's contract runs until 2028, and his versatility across the forward line makes him a key part of Liverpool's attacking depth. With a gross contract value of around £23 million, his salary is a reflection of both his pedigree and his ability to deliver in big matches. 8. Alexis Mac Allister, £7,800,000 per year. World Cup winner Alexis Mac Allister earns £150,000 per week, with his deal set to run until 2028. The Argentine midfielder has become a pivotal figure in Arne Slot's midfield, combining technical quality with tactical intelligence. Signed in 2023, his contract value totals over £23 million, a figure that underlines his importance to Liverpool's rebuild in the post-Jurgen Klopp era. 7. Andy Robertson, £8,320,000 per year. Liverpool's vice-captain and long-serving left-back Andy Robertson earns £160,000 per week, making him one of the highest-paid defenders in the squad. At 31 years old, Robertson's contract runs until 2026, meaning he has one more season before the club must make a big decision on his future. His relentless energy, leadership, and consistency justify his wage bill, and he remains a vital figure both on and off the pitch. 6. Hugo Ekitike, £10,400,000 per year. The French forward, signed from Eintracht Frankfurt, is one of Liverpool's rising stars. At just 23 years old, Ekitike is tied down on a long-term deal until June 2031 with wages of £200,000 per week. His inclusion in the top 10 highlights how Liverpool are willing to invest heavily in young attacking talent with long-term potential. His total gross contract value is projected at over £62 million, showing the scale of faith the club has in him. 5. Florian Wirtz, £10,400,000 per year. Germany international Florian Wirtz is another young star who earns £200,000 per week. Signed in July 2025, his deal runs until June 2030, giving Liverpool a long window to build around his creativity. Wirtz is seen as a generational attacking midfielder, and his salary reflects both his current ability and his long-term potential. With a gross remaining contract value of £52 million, he is one of the most expensive midfielders Liverpool have ever committed to. 4. Cody Gakpo, £13 million per year. Cody Gakpo, the Dutch forward, earns an estimated £250,000 per week, putting him 10th on Liverpool's list of top earners. Since arriving from PSV, Gakpo has become a versatile option across the front line, capable of playing as a winger, central striker, or attacking midfielder. His contract runs until June 2026, making the coming seasons crucial as Liverpool decide whether to extend or cash in on him. With a gross salary of £13 million per year, he is comfortably among the top earners at Anfield. 3. Alexander Isak, £14,560,000 per year. Liverpool broke the bank to sign Swedish striker Alexander Isak in 2025, and his salary reflects his marquee status. He earns a massive £280,000 per week, placing him among the very top earners at the club. Isak's contract runs until 2031, with a staggering gross contract value of £87 million, the single largest financial commitment Liverpool currently have to a player. His wages underline the club's ambition to add world-class firepower to their attack. 2. Virgil van Dijk, £18,200,000 per year. Captain Virgil van Dijk remains the defensive cornerstone of Liverpool and is rewarded accordingly. He earns £350,000 per week, making him the second highest paid player at the club. At 34 years old, Van Dijk's contract runs until 2027, giving him 2 more seasons as the leader of the squad. With a gross contract value of over £36 million, Liverpool have invested heavily in their skipper, who continues to set the standard in both performance and leadership. 1. Mohamed Salah, £20,800,000 per year. Unsurprisingly, Mohamed Salah tops Liverpool's wage list. The Egyptian king earns a colossal £400,000 per week, cementing his status as the club's highest-paid player. His contract, signed in 2025, runs until 2027, worth an overall £41 million gross. At 33 years old, Salah remains Liverpool's most marketable and influential star, and his salary reflects both his legendary contributions and his continued value to the team. Liverpool's wage bill reflects a mix of established world-class stars like Salah and Van Dijk, alongside younger talents such as Isak, Wirtz, and Ekitike, who represent the club's future. The club's top 10 earners highlight the balance between rewarding experience and investing in the next generation of Anfield superstars. Hugo Ekitike responds after announcement made amid Liverpool injury concern. Despite Arne Slot confirming that Hugo Ekitike is a doubt for Liverpool's trip to Chelsea on Saturday, the 22-year-old has still been included in the France squad for 2 World Cup qualifiers. Hugo Ekitike has responded after he was named in the latest France national team squad despite coming off injured in Liverpool's Champions League defeat to Galatasaray on Tuesday. Ekitike, 23, has made an electric start to his Reds' career, scoring 5 goals and providing 1 assist in 9 matches across all competitions. After missing the 2-1 defeat at Crystal Palace through suspension, Ekitike returned to the 11 for the trip to Istanbul but was substituted in the 68th minute after picking up an injury. He said he couldn't continue, so we had to take him off. Let's see how he is for the weekend, Liverpool head coach Arne Slot said after Ekitike was forced off against Galatasaray. After France confirmed that Ekitike would be in the squad for those 2 matches, he took to Instagram to react to the all-important news, sharing France's announcement to his story. Also included in the France squad for the October international fixtures is Liverpool teammate Ibrahima Konate, while Crystal Palace's Jean-Philippe Mateta has been rewarded with his first call-up. Ekitike isn't the only Liverpool player that sustained an injury against Galatasaray. Alisson went off during the defeat with what appeared to be a hamstring problem, after making a save to deny Victor Osimhen. Slot confirmed post-match that the Brazilian won't feature in the trip to Stamford Bridge this weekend. If my player is on the floor, 9 out of 10 times I fear the worst, and with the worst I mean that he cannot continue, Slot said. It's never positive if you go off like this. You can be sure he is not playing Saturday. After sustaining the issue, Alisson took to Instagram on Thursday morning and posted 2 images of him from the game at Rams Park. He has been left out of the Brazil squad for 2 friendlies during the October international break, with Fenerbahce Ederson, Al Nassr's Bento and Hugo Souza of Corinthians included.